Okay, let me start out by saying this. I still am not a religious person. Being of faith is totally different. And I'm not going to get into that topic right now either. I know a lot has been said off my spirit box stuff. I have been putting everything out intentionally because it wasn't my words. I do not like having to pick and choose what things come through. Again, everything I have ever been for has been for truth. I am feeling like I have been deceived about things, and I know they all know it over there on the spirit side. But the thing is that I've been going at this for a long time, trying to get people to see the message I've been trying to tell. For whatever reason, it's clearly not working. I'm not getting anyone to truly appropriately take anything off the spirit box. I understand some things because I myself have been getting so twisted about everything. But the more I go on, the more I try, the more I push, the more I cry, the more I don't get anywhere. And if anything, I feel like I have gone further backwards than forward in any direction. Now, for whatever the reasons of things that have been said throughout my insanity of wanting destruction because the world ain't going to get no better and all I could do is cry and pray and beg for God to come and have justice upon all of this and to take all of this and just get the end of the world going already. Oh, I'm sorry, we've been in the end of the world for some time. And I've tried to reach out to people to build a team of people who actually want the truth like I do. So therefore, that if I should die and the end of the world never comes, at least I could be there still fighting for the same thing, which is to get the truth out one way or another to have the truth known. Apparently, I just don't see that happening either because all my attempts to try to find individuals, again, because everything is for the truth, to find individuals that would want the truth to continue to try to come forward. I have had a lot of things happen in my life, and I have seeked out the answers which have led me down the road I have been down. I have had a lot of bullshit happen in my life, and I have been pretty much screwed in everything I have done. But I still pushed forward for the truth. In many situations, even in my personal life, there are times that I have let things go that maybe I shouldn't have let go because they were just bad people and that's all there was to it. And I continued to try to see the good in even some people in my family. And I just kept trying and I kept trying and just to still have nothing change either. And it's like on some topics, regardless of what it is, if it's the way somebody views you or the way you see things or etc., in almost every situation of everything, it's in the way you choose to perceive it. All I've wanted to do was to have the truth. So maybe by everybody constantly showing me the worst side of them and people struggling to show me the good side of them shows which way that scale has tipped. If all I want is the truth and everyone around me are assholes and dickheads, well then that must be the truth. If all those people I try to help really straight up 100% only cared about themselves, well then what was the point of me helping them when they wanted whatever it was to be whatever it is, because that's all that it was. So what is, was, and what was, is, and that stupid little cycle just continues. Now, there's a lot going on to many things on many levels, and I know there's truth about some stuff, and let's say the end of the world doesn't come, but spirit has power. You better believe that if no one really wants the truth and to make things right, and if there's power in spirit, damn right I want to be over there causing destruction to try to bring the end of all this bullshit. Because if nothing's going to change, what's the freaking point of anything? So with that in mind, I value those of you who I have met or have had the privilege of having the acquaintance with that understood and got it on levels. I value them for that. Kind of sucks that they're still not an active part of my life for one reason or another, for whatever it is. But I know that they were there. But this is the times we are in. And again, you better understand, I am not religious. Not by any means. And if you don't understand the magnitude of what God means, then nobody gets it. And there's just a snowball effect of all this wrong, misled, inappropriate information that we've all been led for one reason or another. But I did not want that because it wasn't right, it wasn't true, it wasn't correct, it wasn't accurate. So for that reason, I continued to choose to seek out the truth. When I was a child in school and found wrong information in my textbooks, or when one class contradicted another class by what they were teaching from the books that they said was right and true and we had to know, and the teachers told me I just have to go with what the book said. And then the snowball effect of all this stuff. I'm not allowed to argue or debate this. I don't know if that's still the case today, but it was when I was in school. This life that we all live, it's the same way. And all I wanted was to push the truth regardless of that. Guess what, people? We all do have powers within ourselves. To what level, to what extent, and to what capabilities and all that are still yet to be shown because it's hard to figure it out when you're alone. Nobody else wants the truth, and people would rather lie than to fight for the truth regardless of what the truth is. I can only state by what I know from my personal experience. But you won't find no one else pushing for the truth more than that. I know that sometimes, to keep me truthful, I have even caught the lies and twists that Spirit has thrown in to keep certain things veered in one direction, which did not help me because of how much I fight for the truth. But now that I see it, now I know why they did it, because it kept me technically not being a liar, because it was what it was at the time for what it was in many situations. Although I might not have done the best job trying to portray the message to all of you. I've tried. So I don't know which way any of this will go, but should I die and the world's not over, somebody reach out to me in the spirit fashion and know that when I am there, I come to bring the truth. Sorry, sometimes it hurts. I know, because I've been hurt. I've prayed for hope and did not get it. I prayed for answers and I found it. I went through hardships and overcame them. I continued to fight for what was right, to have everything that should have been right fail. Even the law in my personal experience. Me knowing legally, that being my home, they had no right to be there. Even when it finally came out to proof after I lost my home because I couldn't be there, they waited long enough to say something until well after the fact so I could not have my home, even though I was right when the bullshit happened. But there's no justification for that error, that nobody on my side was for me. The landlord wasn't on my side. She wanted to raise the rent. The idiots that were there, they weren't on my side. They were only concerned about materialistic possessions. The cops weren't on my side because it would have involved more paperwork, even though I was in the right. And when it finally came out, that was used to evict them out of there. But not in a way where I could have had the opportunity to have a damn thing righted after all this. So yeah, I'm all about the truth because the law, even though should have been legally applied in the situation for what it was, wasn't. And it happens all the time. And usually only people who end up caring about it are those who end up affected by it. So again, I say, if I die and the end of the world does not take place, somebody better reach out to me in spirit form. And again, know that when I am there, it'll be about the truth on every level possible. And if spirit has power and nobody has the intentions to do so, you better believe my intentions are to cause destruction and devastation of this world. Because of the magnitude of everything I know is wrong. From the wrong of caging up and killing animals and being lazy, greedy things, stopping the natural cycle of the world for what it should have been. Those wrong killings of them to eat contaminated meat that was lived horribly. And the taste comes through. It's why wild food tastes better. Although even I do not enjoy the thought of hunting. If my life depended on it, oh yeah, I could and would. Do I hunt? No, because I don't need to. There are other ways to go about everything. And it's wrong if people think about what you actually know about the structure of teeth. Really, people, think about it. We're not even technically meant to eat meat. You want to talk about the forbidden fruit? That's your flesh. That's eating flesh. Look at your mouth. You're all meant to be vegetarians. I'm not a vegetarian. I eat chicken and I eat fish. I do not eat beef because I know what's about to happen to the beef. And I do not do things with dairy products because it's going to be in that too. And I've tried to warn people, hey, but what do I know? I've told people about COVID way before COVID actually ever happened. And sadly, I don't see those morons having my back. There's many things in my life I have seen before it was going to happen, told people about this, but guess what? Just because I seen it, apparently nothing was going to happen, so what was the point of seeing it? What was the point of having that gift to try to warn people about things and to have nobody do nothing? Just like, what is the point of spirit taking this entire time with me to speak to people if nobody is going to hear what it is that spirit has to say? Regardless of who, what, or what was coming through, it was what came through. They have feelings. People forget that. God has feelings. People forget that. Your dead loved ones or enemies all have feelings. Ooh, people, wake up. Living people have feelings too. Anyone who has a pet, an animal, has feelings too. If you have a pet, you know that. But I can't get no one to hear it. Little Miss Goody Two-Shoes, sweetheart, going out of her way, crying over everything because ain't bullshit happening to write a damn fucking thing because nobody actually cares. It's no wonder why I am here fighting for the truth, is it? Because it sure damn fucking sucks to constantly push so hard to tell so many people the straight up actual truth. Yeah, there's some bullshit in my fucking life, but which one of you don't? And you want to actually hear the bullshit about my life for what it is? Because guess what? The bullshit in my life is actually bullshit. But nonetheless, all this fucking crap I have tried to push for, I wasn't out trying to make any money off my YouTube. I didn't put no freaking AdSense on there. Spirits were the one that asked for help more than I did from people out there in the TV world. I went through all the hassle of doing all the government, the applications, calling, and doing all this crap to still be in the position I am in. Nowhere. Exactly. So what was the point of all of this? What was the point in me pushing forward? What was the point of me taking all this time to do all this crap to still feel the same way I felt before all this crap occurred? To try to help you guys out there, I can relate to the moron that wants to be religious because I know information about your crap and could help you understand to see it, even though it's not about religion, because religion is man-made. And it's fake and full of all kinds of freaking lies meant to control and divide all of you. Because what God would ever say anybody is more than somebody else? Mine does. He says I mean the world to him. You can hear him on Spirit Box. You can hear my God say, I love you. You mean the world to me. You know your worth. You know you're worth this world. Continue to be good. Continue to push forward. Everything good and wonderful that came through, I knew for a fact was from somebody on the other side that loved me. Even though I knew and still know I will never know the full extent of who that is until I am there. When this life is complete, until I am there, I will not know who exactly in fullness he is. But I'll tell you what, when I'm there, I know I will know. And I do look forward to that. I look forward to seeing my boy that's over there. I look forward to so many things because finally living in this nonsense world that's filled with greed and deceit and liars and pain and just everything for what it is, and people can't see it for what it is. So no matter what, because of all the bullshit, one, death is not the end. I don't care who you are. We all know way too much now to really think death is not the end. So if death ain't the end, guess what? There's somebody there ready to make something happen. Either to be there to tell you all the truth for what the truth is. Regardless of what the truth is, I'm still going to push for it even over there. But I'm not going to want to ever tell a lie or a twist, so you better be ready for that if the world don't end. But if the world does end, then we'll all know. If the world doesn't end, I guess we've all been lied to. But there's the loophole. If the world doesn't end and there's no massive destruction, and I'm not there to talk to nobody, maybe this all was for nothing. How much is it someone's willing to pay to see, to find out? I'm willing to pay my entire life of constantly fighting for the same thing over and over, even if I continue to get shit on like I have my entire freaking life. I still push forward for that. Guess what? I cuss. Ooh-hoo. It's a word, and I mean what I put behind it, so therefore there's nothing wrong with it. My child, same way. I continue to say, if she cusses, so long as she ain't using it wrong, and don't be a hypocrite. If you use that word, that language, or act that way, do not get onto her for it. That's a hypocrite. My child, if she hears me cuss, which I am cussing a lot right now, I don't usually cuss this much, but what difference does it make? I've been asked to get mad and upset for a while. I think this is mad and upset. It's mad and upset enough for everything that it is. But somebody out there, I know my videos get watched, so I know somebody will at least know this. But will they do anything about it? That's the problem. People who do know things, or at least think they know things, don't do nothing about it to continue to fight for the truth. That's what I fight for. Just like anyone out there who don't get it. Let me tell you a big one right here, and then I'll end this right now. Medical issues and world hunger is something we all could solve. We all could fix. Nobody does nothing about it. If every medical field everywhere around this entire world was to share all their information and come together and not be greedy about it because of a freaking mighty dollar, we could solve and fix so much. But do we? No. Because what's important? Not what they're working for. Don't you see that? and we could all solve world hunger. World hunger, people. If we were all to take all our freaking waste food and properly utilize it and pass it out. Doesn't care if it's freaking pretty or not. Somebody will eat it because they're hungry and it's food and it's there. But we don't, do we? We let it go to waste. We let it spoil. We let it rot, and we don't do nothing about somebody actually hungry. Think about every city with all the abandoned homes, and we have homeless people. Don't you see a problem? They'll put billions and trillions of dollars into solving the homeless crisis when they could have spent a lot less. If it was about that, they could have spent a lot less and fixed up those abandoned homes and foreclosed homes and put the homeless people actually in them and then built more homes if they needed to later. But guess what? It wasn't about that, people. It wasn't about actually helping. So for all of you who don't get it, maybe now you will. I still remain me regardless. And you know what? Yeah, it is bullshit. I go out of my way to help and do something when nobody cares. So yeah, you better believe if I live another day or another 30 days or another 40 years, no matter what, it'll still be about the truth with me. And damn it, one way or another, something's going to get done. And if nothing gets done, y'all have fun with your wonderful bullshit world. Because we'll be all screwed one way or another. Things are continuing to go down this horrible rabbit hole. Will justice ever come? And yet, I still fight for the truth. 100% alone. Other than spirit. And that's not an easy thing to do because I'm not there to know them. But once I'm there to know them, I won't have anybody here. But I don't have nobody here now. That's the truth. So, enjoy Mama's Talk.